Going through these next set of answers, we have a science demonstration where a teacher combines fluorescent dye, hydrogen peroxide, and a chemical called CPPO, and it makes heat and a bright green glow. So my guess, without even looking at the question, is that it's going to say producing heat is what? Endothermic, exothermic, or combustion or corrosion? Hey, I'm psychic. Totally is. Okay, so producing heat means heat is being released, and we are going to have an exothermic reaction. Is combustion happening? Maybe it's burning, okay, but it doesn't say that. Corrosion is mixed with oxygen, doesn't say that either. Endothermic is absorbing heat, so it'd be cooling off, so that's not the right one. So we're going to go with C, exothermic. Okay. Looking at this next question, we have whether something conducts electricity or not. So right off the top of my head, I'm thinking ionic, because we'd have a metal and a non-metal mixed together, and it's probably going to be a solid at room temperature. So let's see what the question is. Yep, ionic or molecular. So substance X conducts electricity? No, probably molecular, because it's mostly the gases, right? The right-hand side of the periodic table, the non-metals, those are usually gases. Okay, good. So let's put 2 for molecular here in the X. And then for Y, conducts electricity, yes. And so that'd be ionic, solid, ionic. So let's put a 1 for ionic here. And then it doesn't conduct electricity, and it's a liquid. Okay, so it's probably bromine, and mercury is close to the metalloid line, right? So it would be molecular for sure. So to the right. Z, we're going to put 2. Okay, this next one, let's have a look. We want to know which ones are going to react the fastest. So strongest acid, okay, down here, 10% hydrochloric acid, stronger than 5. And then when you break things into smaller bits, they react faster. So the metal powder is going to react the fastest compared to the metal strips. Think about, I don't know, sugar dissolves a lot faster than a piece of gum. So we're going to go with the bottom one here, D. Good job, winning. Combustion and corrosion are similar because they both react with oxygen. And, oh, that's the question. Okay, they both require oxygen as a reactant, yeah. So reactants are on the left-hand side of our equation, and products are on the right-hand side. Let's have a look at this fluorine. So atomic number here, atomic mass, charge, ionic charge, so the 1 negative charge, and then fluorine and what it is. So information above shows that a fluorine atom has how many electrons and how many neutrons. So this number at the top left is going to tell you protons or neutrons. Protons or electrons. So 9. Let's look for 9. Okay, so it's either A or B. And then neutrons, we're trying to remember, is that it's atomic mass minus atomic number. So 19 minus 9 is 10. So 9 and 10, row A is your answer. We're dissolving sugar in a beaker of water. So sugar, I'm just glancing down here, is going to be a compound. Let's see what the question says. The water and sugar. Okay, so water and sugar together is going to be, they're both compounds, okay? And the combination of both substances is a solution. Okay, so the water by itself and the sugar by itself, like this is H2O, and this is like, I don't know, C6H12O11 or C6H12O6, depending on what kind of sugar, if glucose, sucrose, whatever. So those are compounds. And when you mix them together, it's a solution, right? You can't tell two different parts. Periodic table patterns. Okay, I often get mixed up family and period. So family is columns. The period is the rows like this. Okay, and in case you weren't sure, let's check the 4 and 3. So 3 for sure is metals. Okay, so metals. 4 is non-metals, so you definitely did have to know which one's which. Okay, so family is I. Period is the 2 I's, the 2. And Roman numerals, 3 is metals, 4 is nonmetals, so B, 15B. Okay, on this side we have our hydrochloric acid, hydrogen gas, and chlorine. Okay, so what's going on here? So combining hydrogen gas and chlorine produces hydrochloric acid. Well, yeah, but these would have to be on the left-hand side. Okay, combining hydrochloric acid with hydrogen gas, that would be like HCl plus H2. Reacts to form chlorine gas, and that's not what it says. Hydrogen gas is produced when hydrochloric acid is combined with chlorine gas. No. Hydrogen gas and chlorine gas are produced when hydrochloric acid is broken down. Yes. So 14D. Okay, naming and formulas. So Chris listed 4 chemical formulas. Let's see if he did it properly. Okay, this is a molecular compound because it's made out of 2 nonmetals. So it should be sulfur, not mono, because it's the first word. And 2 so this should say dioxide because this is molecular, so that one's wrong. It should say dioxide. This one, calcium and sulfur. We got a metal and a nonmetal, so we should use the ionic naming rules. So it should be calcium sulfide, but he put carbon. Okay, so oopsie, Chris. So that's wrong. NO, so it shouldn't say mono because it's molecular and it's the first one. So we have nitrogen and oxygen. They're both nonmetals. So it should be nitrogen monoxide because there's only one oxygen because it doesn't say. Good, that one's right. So let's see why this one's wrong. Magnesium, chlorine, we've got a metal and a nonmetal, so it should be the ionic naming rules. Magnesium, good. Dichloride, no. Di, tri, pentahexahepta, all that. So that one's wrong. Okay, it should be the ionic naming rules. It should just be magnesium chloride. So which one did he name correctly? Number 3, which is C. Okay, next one, melting ice. Physical change, because you can put it back, right? You can melt it, you can freeze it, you can melt it, you can freeze it. Think of a freezy, right? Those can be reversed over and over. So 11 is D. Okay, the other true statement would have been chemical change, because a new substance is formed. These 2 are just totally false. Okay, but for this question, the answer is D. They're assuming you know that H2O is water, so there's 3 molecules of water. Let's see what it says. Okay, 1 atom of water. No, an atom would just be the hydrogen or the oxygen by itself. 3 atoms of water. No, because that would just be 1, 2, 3 atoms, and there's 9 in the picture. 1 molecule of water. No, that would just be one of them. 3 molecules of water. Yes, 1, 2, 3. So 12 is D. Which volume of solution B must be used to neutralize solution A? So you got to be careful when you read these because of the graphs, right? Sometimes they put the volume on the x-axis and sometimes they put it on the y-axis. Sometimes they put pH on the x-axis and volume on the y-axis. Okay, but the key part here is if you're neutralizing it, you're trying to get to 7. Okay, so use the ruler. Okay, and 7 should be about here. Okay, so rate at 25 milliliters of solution B is what you need to neutralize solution A. Okay, so 25 is 25. Bromothymol Blue, Bromothymol Blue is an indicator that changes color at different pH levels. So if it's above 7.6, so if it's a base, it's going to be blue. 6 to 7.6, neutral is going to be green. And if it's below 6, it will be yellow. So if it's yellow, that's because it's mixed with lemon juice. Because lemon juice is an acid, so it would turn yellow. Baking soda, no, that's a base. See, I told you I had to memorize which one's which. Drain cleaner is a base. Distilled water is slightly basic, but closer to neutral. Okay, so lemon juice is the answer here. Sometimes they're nicer and they'll give you a little line that shows you what the different natural substances are, but not always. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Manipulated variable is what you change. Responding variable is what happens because of that change, and then controlled variables are things that you just leave alone. And I'm looking at this question and seeing that numbers are different for temperature. So I'm guessing that's going to be the responding variable, but let's actually read it carefully. Group of students, look at temperatures. We put antacid into a beaker of water and record how long it takes. Okay, so you're using the same type and amount of antacid, so that would be a controlled variable, but they changed the temperature of the water. So what they changed was the temperature. Where is temperature? So 20 was D. Okay, the responding variable would be the time it takes. Controlled variables would be the type of antacid and the amount of antacid. Okay, next one. Metals or nonmetals. You need a periodic table. They'll usually give you one. So let's flick back over to this one. So we got aluminum, fluorine, lithium, phosphorus. Let's see if it's on this one. Otherwise, we'll look it up. Aluminum, yeah, metalloid. I forget the other ones already. Where did it go? Okay, maybe I won't switch back to that next time. Looking for the question we were just doing. Coming up soon. A couple more. There we go. Okay, so aluminum, you're going to definitely want to look at the periodic table they give you. Okay, because aluminum in some periodic tables is a metalloid. Sometimes it's a metal, sometimes it's not non-metal. So let's pretend we were using one of these. This one, the first one that pops up. Okay, aluminum's a metal in this particular periodic table because it's on the left-hand side of the staircase. Okay, fluorine, non-metal, that's over here. Okay, lithium is a metal, that's over here. And then phosphorus is the last one, that's a non-metal, it's over here. Okay, so non-metals over here, metals over here. And they shouldn't put metalloids, that's me. Okay, so next question. Statement above is talking about corrosion. Okay, so you're going to be more likely to have rust if it's moist and warm compared to dry and cool. Corrosion. Okay, so it slows down if you keep it dry, and you slow it down if you keep it cool. So the answer for this one is A. If you want to speed it up, moist and warm. Oh look, marshmallows and toothpicks. Tim created the following molecule using toothpicks and marshmallows. Okay, so what could it represent? We've probably got one molecule here, and then 4 submolecules, so something like, I don't know, probably methane. 2 hydrogens, nope, there'd need to be only 2 marshmallows. H2O, nope, there'd be only 3, and there's 5. NH3, so that'd be one of these and 4 of those, no. So the only one that has 5 anyways is this one. Okay, methane, which is carbon tetrahydride, so 19B. Yes, I'm recording a video. Okay. Next question. Zoom out a little bit. All right, 30 seconds. Let's see if I can finish. When sodium and chlorine react, we get a salt. We get an ionic compound because this is a non-metal, or a metal and a non-metal. And when it's going to conduct electricity in water because it's ionic, yes it will. So C. Next one, physical properties. Hydrochloric acid produced. Nope, that is, or produces heat. That is going to be chemical. Phosphorus burns, combustion, that's chemical.